check for any flux residue inside here. Still see a little something in there, but I'm not sure it's plugged. Okay. Now, we were trying to position all these pieces together. Put some dust in the way here. Let me get that out of the way. Alright. And which was going to be the top side? This was. So, top down. There it is. Yep. Okay, that is good. Let's grab a chasing hammer, move the lamp out of the way because I have actually destroyed the circline bulb in here. A couple of months ago I had a hammer, I went up and actually knocked the bulb out, so got in the habit of moving that out of the way. Let's center this up and give it a good whack. The disc fell out. This piece is actually locked in place now, and I've got a 1 inch or a 1 millimeter lip all the way around. So these little sacrificial discs can go into my copper scraps over there. And let's check this bezel and see where it actually lands. And there it is. So it's set so that it's 1 millimeter deep. Don't really care about the backside here so much. It just needed to be 1 millimeter deep. It does remind me I wanted to put a quality mark on this thing somewhere. So let's put the disc back down here. Let's position that back over it so that it gets down over them. Then I've got a backing so that I'm not actually killing anything when I stamp into that. Let's drag out our stamps here. I've got a .925 here somewhere. There it is. And that's my maker's stamp. Let's move our lamp back out of the way a little bit. And which way do I want to orient this? That way. So, quality stamp. And my maker stamp is going to go right under that. Let's see if that's where I want it to end up at. I think I'm right where I want it to be. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's orient the maker stamp here. Set that so that it's right in below that. Like so. One good whack, and we're in business. Alright. Let's see if I can't flatten that back out just a little bit. Alright, let's solder the shank closed. Kind of be gentle with this. We don't want to upset the butt ends on this. And check those again. Just have a quick look at them. Make sure everything's still looking good. And yeah, I think I can live with that. So let's transfer that over. Set it up like so. I'm going to need it out here a little bit so I can actually get my torch in under this whole assembly. So I'm going to move it out just a little ways there. Let's tweak that out to the end of the tweezers. And since we're going hard solder, I'm going to move my slider up a little bit, take some of the tension off of the tweezers so they don't crush the assembly when it gets up to heat. And that's just about perfect. Okay. Still a little alcohol here. There we go. Now, again, hard solder. That should just about do it. Okay, I have one large piece on this side and two pieces stacked up on the other side. I think those should work just fine. Let's switch out. It's a larger assembly to solder, so I'm going to need a little more heat. I think I will go with the number 5 tip. Number 6 might be a little too much. Let's go with the number 5. Since this is hard solder, we will keep the light down to a minimum so I can see what the color temperature is on this metal. And let's bring this up. We're going to need quite a bit of heat, pretty good sized flame, a little bit on the reducing side. Let's start with that. So back the torch way off. I really just want the heat kind of rising up through the whole thing slowly. Going crazy with the heat just yet. And the flux looks like it's just starting to bubble a little bit. Nothing's going crazy there, so it looks like we're in pretty good shape. We can get the whole assembly up to temperature at once, so I'm going to kind of warm from the top down. Coming up from the side over here. I'll play the heat back across to the other side, and start to see solder start to flow. There we go. We got a good flash on that side. Yep, got a good flash on both sides. So happy with that. And I can drop this right into the pickle with that stainless steel binding wire on it. Nyloned in here. There we go. Alright, nice and flat. Quality marks installed. And we have one well-closed shank. And the ends look good. Alright. Let's unwind this a bit. Get a little extra out here. There we go. Up, we can take those right out the way they went in. Throw that in the trash. And let's let's see how we line up here on the mantle. Now that it's closed, it's going to be a little easier to actually work. So it's coming up right at 7 3/8. Let's go ahead and condense that to move up to a 7 3/4. Let's see where our piece here lands at. Yeah, it's a little tight. See, it's standing up on one edge there, so still needs to be a little bit larger. Let's squeeze it on up there to a full 7 3/4. Convince it that that's where it wants to be. Let's flip it around so we get a nice even crunch on things here. Okay, now let's try it. And looks like it actually could be a little bit bigger. Let's go a little over the 8. Yep, could actually be a little bit bigger. Let's turn it around. It's going up to 8.5 here. Try that. And we are getting closer. I think we might actually wind up at might actually end up at size 9. Let's try 8 3/4. See where that goes. Let's flip that around. We've done quite an adjustment there. Let's try to get it evened out. And let's see where that lands. That looks like it will sink right down in there. That looks pretty good. Okay, now at this point I'm actually going to use my mandrel to try to put a little more edge setting in here. Up a little bit. Alright, yeah, that's looking pretty good. Not bad. So, yep, we are at size 9. It's fitting nicely between the, I think by the time we sink that down in there, it's going to be fine. Let's take a look here. We've actually introduced a little twist in there. So, I think we can take some of that twist back down. Bring it up here. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Now we can worry about adjusting our loops a little better. We're a little bit out of whack here. So I need to actually persuade this loop to move over a little bit. This way. That's better. A little bit more. Okay, yeah, like that. This one, both of them need to move. This one a little bit more than that one. Let's take a look at that. And now this one needs to move a little. So, okay, yeah, that opened them up nicely. They got about the same amount of width. They're a little out of whack this way, so we'll do a little tweaking on them. Grab this way, and actually make use of the bench pen. And it looks like this one needs to move in just a little bit, like so. Okay. Put that around. Take a look, and it's actually look pretty good. Let's see, this side. This needs to bend out just a little. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Tweak just a little bit. That looks pretty close. This one could move out just a little bit more. A little more. Let's try twisting it this way. Let's just have a quick look at it for symmetry. Looks good there. Something going on this end. Let me tweak this just a little bit. Over twist a little bit. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I'm liking that. Go back on the mandrel, round it back up. There it is. Okay, that's nice. Happy with that fit. Let's check it again for symmetry. We've done some banging on it. You don't know what that's going to change. Everything's kind of tied together now, so we want to make sure that it's all even. That looks good. That looks good. Sorry if I had the lamp in the way. Pretty happy with that. Now we need to form cuts here and here. I need to take a little bit out of the edge set on this side. It's a little too much, so let's try that. That's better. Yep. Flatten that back out. Okay, so we need to form the lip here and here for this ring to sit in. So let's get to work on that. We're finished with the forming and shaping of the ring. We've got it all tuned up. I'm pretty happy with the symmetry of it and the look. It actually looks pretty good, not bad. A little high on that side for some reason. There it is, pretty high. Actually, I'm not happy with it. When I take another look, I found something else I don't like. So I need to come down just slightly with this side. That's better. A little bit more on this side. Looking at it from the edge here, I can see that one of the loops is sitting a little bit higher, and that would cause the stone to sit crock-eyed in the setting. So I don't want that. That gets them more even. Let's check our fit here. Yeah, looks like we're going to have just a little lip there that we need to set down into. So don't need to remove much, but I do need to remove a little bit of metal just to form a lip for that to sit on. And before I begin that operation, I think this is a good point to take a little break. So here's our shank. The bezel's coming along, and we're just about to move on to an important step, actually fitting the bezel to the shank. Okay, let's determine what size ball burr we'll need to actually make this relief in the setting here to put the bezel basket in. And let's take a piece of the half round wire. Here's one that's got a nice flat end on it to determine the profile. Let's go to our burr box here and just kind of lay it in here next to some of these and see which one actually works the best. It looks like this particular one is just the right profile. A cup here with some olive oil in it. That's what I use for my burr lubricant. Do a little dab there. And we'll need to mark up exactly where we want this to land on the shank, and where I need to cut that relief in. Let's put this in like so. A little layup here. Hold that in place like so. Position it between. And it looks like I need to go from this point to this point. Now we can always make this bigger, so I'll start out a little bit conservative on the dimensions of it. Don't want to take too much out at once. It's not quite round. Let's go and round that up now. Do that on a little smaller section. Should do it. Yeah, that looks better. A little bit proud on this side. So a little adjustment here. Back around. Just proud over here. That's looking better. Okay, that should do it. hold it in place here. There. Okay, that looks pretty good. Come in from underneath here, and I'm just going to move right across. Okay, that's a good start.